Hiya, it's Owlet here. Welcome back to the Comic Closet. We are here to review Legends of Tomorrow, episode 4, White Knights. So let's get on with the review. So, the plot for this week's episode was that they are going to the 80s to try and find out what Savage is doing at the time of the Cold War. So first they go to the Pentagon and make a big old mess of things by going undercover in their janitor gear, which was really quite cute. And then the guys are in the janitor gear while the girls are in super cool. I don't know what kind of classification of uniform they were wearing, but it seemed some kind of military, maybe Air Force. Either way, they looked boss. And it was going pretty well, which was surprising for the team so far, since they tend to kind of screw it up, but it didn't take long, and that's exactly what happened. So Cold was all suave and stole a key card, which he slipped to the White Canary, but then Kendra went crazy Hawk Girl, and then Jefferson flew through the roof. Good thing that Rip's Hunter's ship can erase all the magnetic tape, and the US government likes to keep it all under wraps because conspiracy theories. So yeah, that went really well. No, it didn't. So they went from there to Russia, to the USSR, because they found out that's where Savage was going, and he was building some kind of nuclear thing. I didn't catch the science jargon, sorry. But basically he's building the reactor thing that makes Firestorm. I forgot the word for a second. It makes Firestorm. So he's making firestorms of his own, which is truly horrifying because Firestorm is crazy powerful, and then he'd be using it against them, and that would be really bad. And they kept saying stuff if this really happens, then the future is doomed. But the future is already doomed, and they're it's beyond hope, and I was it already is beyond hope. That's why you're there. So far for me, this episode seemed like the biggest mess as far as writing, and also making things feel suspenseful, or making it feel there was something at stake other than what we already knew was at stake. And Stein got crazy mad again and started shouting at Jefferson and being you never listen to what I say, you're always putting your life on the line, you're making reckless mistakes, why don't you ever listen to me? And then Jefferson raised a good point of I never even wanted to come on this adventure, it's my body, you took me here against my will, and all of this was valid. And he was what about my mom, what happens if I get killed here? And Jefferson was that's the reason I'm yelling at him, kind of thing. I mean, not Jefferson, Stein was that's the reason I'm yelling at him. So he went all Tyra Banks, the only reason I'm yelling at you is because I love you. It's just no. If you had never drugged him and put him on the ship to begin with, none of this would be happening. You wouldn't be worried about his life, but you're concerned that for the greater good, this was what needed to happen, but now you're kind of kicking yourself. But it was just kind of a dog chasing its tail moment where we weren't really getting anywhere with that, because we know that it's all Stein's fault, and it really did feel like Stein was screwing up a lot of things and has been kind of acting weird the whole season so far. The Stein we see in Legends is very different to the Stein we see in Flash. And I know he's sad about what happened with Ronnie, and he was Ronnie was just a kid too, but I feel Ronnie wasn't just a kid. He was more of an adult. He had a fiance, he knew the risks he was taking, he'd been part of Star Labs, he was very much invested in what was going on, and he made those decisions on his own. I'm sure Stein feels some guilt from that. There's no denying that, and that's what makes him human, and that's wonderful. But Ronnie did all that on his own. This is some mechanic that he picked up out of some audition process. This is all on you, Stein. Don't think you can get out of that easily. And I know he's not trying to, but it is his fault that any of that's happening. Anyway, I went on a crazy Stein rant. That's enough about Stein. So inside the ship, we had a side plot of Kendra's gone crazy and doesn't know how to control being a hawk because she's all mad that Carter's dead. So we have White Canary training her, but White Canary's got the whole bloodlust thing going on, so it was trying to balance them out, which was cool of Rip Hunter to think of, and it was fun to see the fight scenes. But I don't know how long they were fighting for, because it every just now and then would cut in, and it just didn't seem to quite fit in. It was basically just, oh, by the way, that's happening on the ship, just in case you're wondering what the girls are doing. The real true White Knight of this entire episode has to be Cold, hands down. And Heatwave too, because, you know, you can't have one without the other. But really, just Cold saved the day and was like the only one who seemed to pull off the missions with any sort of success. He swiped the card from the Russian. Like, he learned about ballet to woo her. Adam tried so hard and failed. Poor Raymond is now unconscious and in jail somewhere, so that went well. But just Cold knew what he was doing. Like, he's a very smart, suave person, and he gets stuff done. And I think, like, everyone's still very disorganized, and it just really confirmed my fears that, like, Hunter acts like a Dr. Rosen from Alphas, because he has this group of powerful people, but no real skills at putting them together to make them solve the problems that he would like to be solved. You know, it's great to have vigilantes and fight for justice, but if you don't know how to control them or connect with them or build trust, then you're just going to have chaos on your hands, which seems to be happening time and time again. And it was great that they all came together to try and help Rip not get killed by that Time Lord dude. And, you know, the fact that even Heatwave listened in and was like, that guy's totally gonna kill you, which I totally thought was gonna happen. Like, it was way too convenient for him to turn up and be like, I can offer you redemption, everything's gonna be fine. No, the Time Council doesn't love you, the Time Council doesn't care, you're a huge problem, and they're gonna get rid of you the easiest way possible. Ancient Roman problem solving. Like, kill it. Which is just not what you want when you're trying to save the world. So yeah, it was about just lots of things going horribly wrong, and at the end of the day, we have Raymond now kidnapped, Stein now kidnapped, and Heatwave injured and kidnapped? Injured and kidnapped. Which, you know, royally pissed off Cold, quite rightly, because they left him behind, and, you know, he asked for backup and that didn't happen, so no one's really happy with Hunter yet again. And it's going to be a two-parter, which is kind of exciting because we haven't had a two-parter yet. But I'm really hoping that they actually start to have some success, because I really feel like they're just going from one time point to the other and making a mess of things, which you can only do for so long before it either all implodes on itself like a flan in a cupboard, or everyone just disbands and be like, right, well, I'm going to find a DeLorean and go back to the future, because this has been a royal waste of time. But, you know, this is the first episode that I haven't truly loved, and there was still some moments in them that I really liked. I mean, Cold still had some great lines, and I'm warming more and more to Adam, even if he did end up ruining things with his compassion, but that's what he is. He's the guy who cares, and that's important. You need that in the team. But hopefully next week's episode will tidy up the mess that this part 1 has made. But until then, you know, go out, watch some other comic book stuff. Deadpool, Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow. There's lots to choose from at the moment. So, it's all you. Toodles!